All right, thanks for that, Anthony. It's been at least 10 years since Richmond County had a domestic violence task force. It is a state requirement for each judicial circuit for cities to have one.
The tragic death of a community leader highlighted the need for one in the community, but tonight we're learning the renewed efforts for this task force have been in the works for a while.
Our Hallie Turner is live at 5 with details on this program that aims to help both people in this relationship.
The entire purpose behind the task force is all about keeping the victim safe. And in order to do so, people on this task force say multiple resources are needed from all agencies in Richmond County, from law enforcement to safe homes to advocates working together. Hannah Marr says when she started working at Safe Homes in 2020, there was not a task force for domestic violence. So the work to put one together began. Their first meeting with law enforcement, the DA's office, child enrichment, and more was set to be in August of 2021, but was pushed back because of a spike in COVID. A representative with Safe Homes says this actually allowed for more time to develop a better set plan at what this task force could do and how they could help both sides with the problem to make sure everyone stays safe.
The goal is to eliminate any barriers for a victim who has experienced domestic violence and to eliminate any barriers for a survivor going forward in their healing process and their journey of survivorship, and also to put laws in place to prevent abuse and also to hold those that abuse accountable for their actions.
And coming up all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we dive deeper just into how this task force will work together and what other agencies are doing to help.
All right, thanks, Hallie. The Sumter community continues to mourn.
We're finally seeing those warmer temperatures, but will the rain get in the way of your weekend plans? Our First Alert weather team standing by with your forecast. But first, we start with details about a brand new task force in Richmond County hoping to cut down on domestic violence in our community.
Earlier this week, the District Attorney's Office and Safe Homes of Augusta held a summit of sorts to organize a plan of action. The first time officials and community leaders have come together like this for a coalition in a decade.
News 12's Hallie Turner live from our newsroom with how this task force came to be and how it plans to help.
Domestic violence survivors say filing for abuse report is the only half of the battle. Following through with the justice system is the next. Leaders say it's going to take a community effort to do so.
Both of his hands wrapped around my throat and looked me straight in my face and told me that tonight was the night he was going to kill me. I literally thought this is probably it.
Lying in her own blood, shards of glass shattered where her abuser had thrown her into a table, Becky says she was hopeless.
Thought was none of it was big enough or sharp enough to stab him and kill him before he killed me.
After 5 years of not following through with the legal side of things, she was determined she would be a survivor of domestic violence.
Following through with the legal process is hard. You know, you kind of don't really know a lot about what's going on because often there's not a lot of updates to give, like hurry up and wait.
Documents, pictures, court appearances, phone calls, and more made a difference in Becky's case.
I was the nail in the coffin for my case. I was keeping all of this evidence for year after year.
It's a goal to help bring other victims to the side of survivorship. Becky is joining Safe Homes, law enforcement, and other agencies in the creation of a domestic violence task force.
The goal of the task force is to also look at the fatalities that have happened to see were there instances where we could have helped and changed things, see where we can improve upon.
The Richmond County Sheriff's Office says they are taking it a step further to help both sides.
Focused deterrence program, they go through the anger management and the marital counseling together. Then maybe you could dismiss the cases. The focus has to be on protecting, the victim of the abuse.
And it doesn't stop here.
A village to raise a child. I think it takes a village to help a domestic violence survivor or someone who's suffering in silence with domestic violence.
Safe Homes and the Sheriff's Office say it's so important for those victims to follow through with the reports and the legal process. The task force is there to guide you and help you through each step of the way. And the next task force meeting is on May 16th, and their goal is getting people signed up for these committees so that they can start seeing the change throughout Richmond County.
Really powerful survivor stories. Hallie, thanks for sharing those with us. A mother is hoping her daughter's death won't be in vain, that she can save others from the same fate. Deputies say Common Schultz's husband shot and killed her last week. Tonight, her